I've come up with the 4 stages of wearing dentures, being successful at wearing dentures. The 4 phases of wearing dentures successfully, however you want to say it, okay? Because it really is, it just comes down to like 4 factors, and that'll make it or break it for you. And number 1 is pretty, just doesn't really count. It's kind of like when, you know, you make the decision to get dentures. Are you going to, or are you not? Some people sit on the fence for a long time. So when you decide to take that leap and you're going to wear dentures, that's your first step. And I really want to go into another separate video after my affordable dentures experience, because and turn it into it applies to this first step, because really your potential outcome and experience in this whole thing, really there's some critical points to make it successful, critical areas that are really going to have a huge influence on how well you're going to do. And one of them is who you pick to do your denture. This experience has taken me almost 2 years, which should have been done right the first time, and I could have been happy the last 2 years. But instead, we all know what it does. I didn't leave there any feeling like I'm crying because my smile is so beautiful, I'm so happy. It wasn't like that. It was just like having shitty teeth again, but they were just, fake shitty teeth. So starting right there, look up reviews, get referrals. When you get in there, take your time, ask questions. If they will not answer your questions or help you or be courteous to you during your consultation, imagine how they're going to treat you after you hand over $4,000 or whatever, however much it's going to cost. If they can't give you, answers and attention and, just show you any kind of respect, before your patient, as they're trying to really get, they're trying to really get your business. That's usually when they put on their best show. If they can't do a good job and please you and satisfy you, then imagine what it's going to be like when you have problems with your dentures. Okay? So that's just a given. That's stage 1. That's important. I start off by saying it wasn't important, but it's hugely important. Stage 2 usually comes in a wave of you get your extractions and you're going to be in pain and you're probably going to be disappointed because you don't get to, some people do, but I guess, by the way, as always, there's your exception to every rule, okay? I'm just speaking in generalizations. But, you might be disappointed because, the first week or 2 or 3 or even a month, they don't feel right, they don't fit right, you can't eat right still, and you're just like, what's the point then? Why do you even do this? So you could be disappointed. You can also have a lot of regret, maybe immediately, because as with anything, once you pull them out, you can't put them back in. It's a commitment. It's a final commitment. Once you make this commitment, you're done. Your teeth are gone. You're not going to get them back. So you might have regrets thinking that you made a mistake, but you shouldn't have that regret because you've got to give yourself patience. Because, of course, you're in pain. You're not used to this. This is all new to you. It's like, it's a foreign, everything to you is foreign. And you've got to get used to it. So have patience and don't judge yourself and your circumstances based on other people or what you see or what you've been told or whatever. It all depends on how much effort you put into it is how much you're going to get out of it. How much time you spend, that's actually the next step. So, the next phase. So, the second one, you could be angry, this is like immediately as you get your extractions and you begin to recover, You might put in your temporaries and smile and be completely not recognize yourself because you have a totally new smile now. Even if it's a pretty smile, it's not really the smile that you remembered. It's like a new smile. Not just in the sense that it's new teeth, but it's a new... This is nothing like my teeth used to look like. My original teeth this is not what they look like. So even my kids freaked out, you know. They, my like 13-year-old was at the time was like crying because when I smiled, it really messed her up. It was like, that's not my mom, you know. It was sad. She was crying. She wasn't familiar to her, but everybody gets used to it. She did. I did. We get used to it. So expect that. Part 3 is where I was saying that you enter a phase that you have to put in. This is where you're now technically, you know, your gums have healed. You know, you're not a bleeding mess anymore and in pain and all that. But now you're actually able to wear, I can't even talk straight right now, you know. And I've been wearing these for like 2 weeks. I'm trying to say that. And that's weird. I don't know why I'm having a harder time right now. I push him up there. Okay. This is where you've got your temporaries in and you're healed. Now you're just trying to get used to this stuff. And believe you me, that for some people it comes really easy. For me, I was like, there is no way in the world, like I made a mistake, because what am I going to do? I cannot wear these dentures, the two of them together. I can't. I'm trying to, and it's like an episode of America's Funniest Home Videos. I can't chew. I can't feel my food anymore because my palate's covered and my taste buds are covered. I'm chewing things that I can't feel. I'm like telling my kids, I'm like, you think I'm joking right now? The food's falling out of my bread. It was falling out of I'm like chewing it up. It's balling up. And it's kind of just like hanging out of my mouth. And I can't like get it back in. I'm trying to control it. And it's, I went through things like that. And it's a learning process. And I'm like, this is a joke. I can't get, you know. But these other people are just, you know, they're superhuman because I can't do it. But that's not the case at all. It is a lot of dedication and practice. This is where this is where the whole experience where there's like, we lose a lot of people along the way at this stage. Because this is where it requires your effort to make it successful, because you have to be dedicated, you have to show patience, and you have to practice. You know, there's a lot of exercises and things, speaking, reading out loud. You know, if it doesn't come natural to you, and it does to a lot of people, I don't know why, but maybe I don't know. But if it doesn't come natural to you, whatever, you know, you've got to put forth this effort. It doesn't happen on its own, and it takes time. It just does. It takes time, and everybody tells you that, and it's so true. Because you're getting used to something that you're not familiar with. It takes time, like a baby learning how to crawl and then walk and then run. These are stages of wearing dentures. You know, you get better at everything over time, and eventually, if you make it through this time, this is the most difficult time, then you'll be okay. I remember putting in my upper, that's always the easy one, and then when I put in my lower, I'm like, forget it. I can't wear an upper and a lower. This is impossible. So, you know, I would just take out my lower and just wear the upper. And that made it easier for me. So once I mastered that, then I would wear my lower, and that helped So, you know, maybe it'll help you. But don't get frustrated about it and just give up. Because, like I said, this is a point where we, you know, the boys are separated from the men, you know. The people that are going to see this through and make it to the end and have that, you know, winning smile are going to persevere. And the ones that, you know, just are lazy and are like, if these things don't work for themselves and do everything on their own as I sit here on the couch, you know, then they're gone. I'm just going to be toothless, you know. If you're that kind of person, then just accept the fact that, you know, you won't have teeth. You know, they're going to do their job. But you have to do yours. Okay? So, stage 4 was simply you make it. And you get to that point at whatever, you know, however far along it is, and you make it. And you're like, I made it, I did it, I persevered, I made it through, and, you know, you can talk, you can speak, you can eat, you can smile. And that's where you are finally done with this whole experience and adventure, whatever you want to call it, and you will look back and you'll be glad that you jumped off that ship and you grabbed that life preserver and that you're a survivor now, whatever. You know, I don't want to say survivor because that kind of minimizes real, you know, issues that, but no, you're going to be happy and healthy. Okay? So, take that advice to the bank.